So as I told you guys in the last video, Elon Musk is that rich kid who throws parties and people come to the party for free pizza.
No.
What's that?
He's the who promised you the free pizza.
Oh.
But it never comes. Then he said, oh, 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, call more your friend, you know.
That's a good point, actually, right? He's always promised you the free pizza, and then what do you do when you get to the party and like the pizza never comes, and he's oh, but it's like 5 minutes more, or 10 minutes more.
You know, their family, they're having a private dinner, like having a steak. Oh, there's 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more.
and you can see him eating the steak through the window, and you're just like, I want that steak too, and you stay for the party because you think that I'm gonna get the steak, even though he promised you pizza. So that's basically what Elon Musk is. It is all a sham, and it's a promise of free pizza. In this situation, the robo-taxis, the robots, and whatever nonsense that he's pumping. We had a lot of really interesting comments from you guys. The community, Yeji's here also as well. And I want to go through some of the things that's happening and sort of what people are saying. Actually, let me read a comment to get started. This is kind of interesting. This is coming from John. John says, buy a car that spies on you, is constantly subject to recalls, and charges us subscription fees to use hardware you already paid for. Just how stupid does someone have to be to opt in on this? Yeah, why do people do this stuff? The subscription one for me, that stuff's freaking weird. I think, and they changed the price. But I think it's like it's some, it's not just Tesla. Other companies are doing this. Like they want you to basically subscribe to your car for like $100 a month. That's in addition to buying the car.
Yeah, it's every month you spend, right?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, if I buy a car, I want to just buy it, and
that's it.
I bought it. Yeah, I don't want to subscribe to any like software. I want the car to have the software already in it because if you don't know BYD. They're including their software, like the robot driving and all their kind of special features. They're just including it in the car. They're just like, buy our car, we're gonna put our software in there. Elon wants to charge you like an extra $8,000, and then they'll move the price.
And when they want to upgrade, they have to pay for it when they upgrade.
Yeah. So like they offer it every now and then. Say when you buy the car, they'll try to get you, oh, get this price, whatever, and then you can upgrade it later. But then they might charge you more. But then they change the price around a lot. So then they'll like, oh, well, it's special time, time limited, that kind of stuff. You know how the companies do this kind of thing. And then you're trying to wasn't limited or whatever. And then people get kind of pissed off, like, wait a minute, I thought it was limited. Why did you do this with the price? And it's just, that's the problem when the prices are constantly changing on Tesla. Or you have features that, again, they should just, in my opinion, should be included with the car. They did another really weird thing lately where normally when you lease a car, at the end of the contract, you have an option to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a pretty normal thing.
Yeah.
So Tesla, was an article today, they're like, they canceled people's option to buy it. Yeah.
Why?
Well, Elon said that they were gonna buy the car from not buy the car, but they wanted the cars back so that they could use it for like 1 million robotaxis. That was Elon Musk's own word. But then what they ended up doing is taking the cars back, putting the software, or activating the software is a better way to say it, then charging more money and then trying to sell it. So it does.
That's kind of weird. He has
the whole thing is weird.
Bunch of like the Cybertruck sitting somewhere right now. Not selling.
The report is like 10,000 Cybertrucks they can't sell.
They can use the car for robotaxi or whatever.
Oh, that's what that is a good point. Like why am I not letting people buy their own car back or whatever? And I won't say buy it back. Like it's their car. Just at the end of a lease, normally you can buy your car. So there's that. Here's another comment. I always like to read your guys' comments. This is from Carmen. Carmen says, he is definitely that kid, referring to the rich kid in the pizza situation and people, show up his house. An employee recently talked about how he awkwardly waits for people to laugh at his jokes in board meetings, but no one thinks he's funny.
Yeah, I remember that. We have a spoon here, whenever they had a meeting, he just did that, like.
Yeah, for real.
And he was kind of waiting for people clapping for him, right?
He does weird stuff all the time. So, I don't know if you guys ever had this experience where you have a boss that will, expect you to laugh at his jokes, and they'll just wait and look around the table. Wasn't when I said really funny?
Yeah.
It's a similar situation with the Twitter deal. Like, so as an employee at Tesla, do you have to like his tweets? Do you have to retweet his tweets? Do you need to comment on his tweets? Like, it's kind of an awkward situation. Like, what do you do if your boss tags you in a tweet
Yeah.
and it's like saying kind of weird stuff? Like, what do you do? I mean,
I want to delete, but I can't really.
that's the pressure working at Tesla, and this is why people quit. So he's been losing a lot of employees. Other things that's going on in Tesla recently, we have this like strange stuff with how he wants to change the laws in Texas, and he's working with the politicians. So what was one of the stuff they want to change?
If you want to sue the company, you have to have more than 3% of the share. But that is how crazy it's not, even 1%, 0.1% is really big. But that's big company, more than 3%.
Yeah, it's quite a lot actually. That's a good point. So the thing with that, it's anti-democratic would be one. It only favors wealthy individuals, right? And it only favors people who already own like a sizable portion. And so what they're trying to do though, they're trying to say like, unless you have a bunch of money in a said thing, you have no say in the company at all, even though you're a shareholder. And what if a shareholder has a legitimate concern about the company? So here's an example. Normally a board would just fire someone like Elon by now. He hasn't been coming to work. Like regardless of the politics,
and he's ruining the country and world.
Yeah, the country, the world, and your company. Yeah, just focus on company, right? So, like I said, not even talking about the politics. If someone doesn't show up to work, and you're like pissing off your customer base, normally you're gone. And so, like as a shareholder, let's say, yeah, sure, I don't have 3%, but like I literally have my money in the company. Why can't I sue? So, like to remove rights of someone being able to sue. Another good example would be like, let's say you're curious that are they lying on their books, and you say, oh well, you have to have 3% of the company or you can't sue. Like there's any number of things.
Yeah, that's really
removing people's right to sue is not.
And plus, America is the country of the suing.
Oh yeah.
They suing each other,
Yeah. We like to sue in USA, so that's part of our culture. So like you're hurting our lawsuit culture. So how dare you? The other one was kind of a weird one too. Is they're basically want to assume, like write in the law, that we assume that board members, CEO, and like the leadership of a company have the best interests of shareholders and doing the right thing. Like you assume that, and it's like. I don't know, when I read that, for me, I never assumed that. I always assumed the company's going to cheat me. I mean, that's just how I think about like sort of the big business, big Wall Street kind of stuff. If you guys disagree, if you think that all the big companies are thinking about your interest first, please let me know. I know you're laughing, right? Does any normal person think that, oh yeah, big company cares about me?
I don't know.
Does anyone think that? So that's why the Texas law is kind of ridiculous, right? They want to write law that they think that. Now, I'll give you some examples of like sort of how things are changing. It's related to Tesla because already they are pressuring the government to pressure other countries to take Starlink, basically SpaceX, right? And I'll give you an example which is related. There was a news recently, like I think it's one of the big cable internet companies in USA is going to buy another one. So basically, we're getting more consolidation. I just saw it in the news, and like that kind of stuff is just. Like I say, with a big company situation, I just always assume the companies are out to screw me. It's like, right, you know what I mean? Like when you get more mergers, or you get, oh, I can't sue you now.
Subscription.
Yeah. They raise your prices, that kind of stuff. Or a big thing that happens too with a lot of big companies normally is they'll raise the price but then lower the value, right? So like let's say. I'll give you a simple example. They call it shrinkflation. Do you know this word?
Yeah, shrinkflation.
Yeah.
It's simply, when you buy snack.
Yeah, it's good. Snacks are good. Yeah.
Package is same, but they put less.
Yeah. So actually the shape of the, say, potato chips will be whatever shape it is, and then you got to read the label of how much actual potato chips are in there. So they fool you.
The cheese was
Oh, what does it mean?
The gas snack.
Oh, gas.
Gas is more than actually your snack.
Yeah, because you're buying air. Yeah. For real. So, that kind of stuff, what I consider this to be sort of, common sense to protect investors, protect just your average consumer, these kind of things. That's the kind of stuff that Elon Musk wants to put into place, meaning that he wants to get rid of basic protections for people. And so this goes back to, say, the original example of people come to Elon Musk's party because they're promised free pizza, right? And it's crazy because like, how long are we gonna let this charade go to when the pizza doesn't arrive? And what does it say about the people who are waiting for the quote, free pizza?
Free pizza, yeah.
Because someone brought up the comment of like, this whole scenario is, doesn't necessarily, well, it can say bad about both, but said, you're forgetting that the people who show up just for the free pizza aren't really good either.
Yeah, because they want something for free, pay their time, but they wanted something, free. So
it's part of our.
but
What's
also
that?
if there's no pizza, it is a scam.
It is. It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid Ponzi. It's a scam, right? And I was gonna say like this also goes back to people keep asking the question in comments in the last video, why is the stock going up? So it's a complicated question. So I'll give you a couple answers. So one would be, you have to understand that if I buy the stock early, right, it's in my interest to tell you how awesome the stock is so that you buy it and it makes the price go up. Like literally, it's the pyramid. Like it's just that's part of our financial markets. And if you watch a lot of the YouTubers, right, they might have bought in early. They could even be paid by Tesla. The paid stuff is an interesting one because people always ask me about that. They're paid through a couple ways. Okay, one is they are literally paid by Twitter and Elon Musk. Literally paid. They even show their earnings on Twitter from time to time because Elon Musk wants to encourage you to pay $8 to him, and then I guess you'll get money back from that, because his fans tell you they're making money on Twitter. So that in itself is a bit of a scam, right, as it is. But they are actually, yeah, they do get paid on Twitter. The other way is he pays them through engagement. So if he retweets one of your videos or one of your comments or whatever, more people see it. That's how it is. You don't know how many of those people are real or not real because there's a lot of bots on there. And this also goes to the culture that we're in right now. I'm mentioning sort of like the people who surround themselves with Elon and of hopes of getting, get rich, whatever that means. Elon, his world is a bit strange. New York Times did an article recently. What was the basic gist of it?
The New York Times, they just curious that what Elon's logo in his X.
Yeah.
So they made a new account and follow exact what Elon follows.
Right.
So New York Times said, it's mostly I love you, Elon. I
Yeah, that
support
kind of
you,
stuff.
Elon. But he maybe doesn't know that people hate him. So that's why he can't handle that when someone's, try to hurt Tesla, try to hurt Elon.
Yeah, that stuff's always strange, right? Because Trump says similar one as well. When these people live in this crazy sort of social media bubble, like a Twitter.
Social media, even the real meeting, I can't.
Oh yeah, even the
I can't forget that our news shows that in the White House, the cabinet meeting, everyone's, you're doing the great, and Trump is really happy and smiling.
Yeah. And anyone who's ever seen one of the cabinet meetings with Trump, that's all it is.
For 2 hours.
Yeah. Every cabinet member comes up and they'll just talk for like 15 minutes of how awesome, how every policy and like how everyone's going to be rich. They actually use the words rich. It's kind of crazy. And I showed you guys the 2 videos ago. Trump gave an interview on Fox, and he was just talking about how much money people have in the Middle East and how they're all rich off oil.
And handsome.
Yeah, no, seriously, and handsome. And if you understand, like, what is this saying about the culture? Is just too much focus on money, right? People are essentially kind of the good analogy you mentioned, where they're, Elon Musk is eating steak through the window, and all these people are like watching Elon eating steak through the window, thinking, oh, I want that steak, and he's promising me free pizza to get the steak, right? And the pizza never comes, but they're like so stuck on that dream of the steak, and you're willing to overlook like all of the lies, all of the broken promises, and a lot of this stuff. Some people, I think the phrase is Stockholm syndrome. Have you heard of this?
Stockholm syndrome, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's like when someone kidnaps you, basically, and like you develop a relationship with the kidnapper. Is it? I can't remember why they call it, and you guys can, if you're gonna write in the comments, I'm pretty sure that's what it's referred to as. It's kind of like that, and someone actually wrote a really interesting comment also today. Like, guys, I read all your comments, so please keep them coming because it's really interesting to in our community have these discussions. They said they worked in a furniture store in Michigan, right? And they were saying that their sales just keep going down and down and down, which is something I've been hearing a lot, that because people aren't really moving around so much, there's just not a lot of movement in the housing market, so you don't need new furniture. People don't have money, so you don't need new furniture. And then you got the tariffs would raise the price of the furniture. Like there's all these things that like.
And you can just use used market this.
And you can totally do. Yeah, you totally. Yeah, that's actually a good point as well. And so, but he was saying he feels really frustrated because many of his sales perspective, this is like the owner, I guess. Many of his salesperson people are like pro-Trumpy people, and they keep talking about how awesome tariffs are going to be for everyone. And it's like, think how bizarre that is if like you literally work in a store where you can see the numbers of your sales go down, yet you're celebrating that we're all paying higher taxes to Trump. And I understand your frustration, right? That's why I say, guys, you're not alone when you go through this stuff. And one of the things that I think is so crazy about this is that how long is it going to take for people to realize that the lies that Trump and Musk keep saying, like no matter what the lie they tell you, it's never going to come true. Like the latest one, for example, is Trump's attacking Walmart because Walmart said they're going to raise prices. They're totally going to raise prices.
It's like
right?
second to first is to Tim Cook. Why you don't build a factory in America?
Yeah, right.
And now it's why you raise the price in Walmart.
And the funniest crap is that like the Trump people and the Musk, they always talk about like we're the most pro business, etc. But like literally they're trying to tell business what to do. Like don't raise prices. It's like what are you talking about? Like literally.
You raise the tax.
Yeah.
Talking.
So. Or the latest one was with the Amazon one was where Amazon was basically wanted to show you how much you're going to pay in tax.
Yeah.
Which if you guys don't know this, so here in Korea, we have Amazon. Amazon's all over the world, right? On the Korean version, if you order something from Amazon, it literally tells you the import tax. It just says this is the fee you're going to have to pay if you buy this item. So the USA wanted to basically do the same thing, which is a pretty normal thing. For example, on UPS, a lot of people are getting the surprise bills from UPS. Because the shipping company will literally say, this is what the fee is. Or for anyone who knows this, and I'm sure you guys know if you've ever traveled, you buy something in a foreign country, if you come back and you declare something, they literally say, pay tax. Yeah. So no one likes it. No one likes it, right? So this idea that the guy at the furniture store is saying, oh yeah, my employees love it, that we're all going to pay more tax.
The tax is not company decides. That's your country to fix the tax.
Trump.
Yeah, Trump, he did it. So they just put the number what Trump said.
So like, why are we celebrating this? It's such a bizarre thing. And then,
we're going to celebrate really soon on Trump's birthday.
Oh yeah, with
a lot of tax
for the military parade. There's been multiple reports, so we don't know exactly how much that will cost. Maybe 50 million. Someone said in the comments that they heard 100 million. I heard 50. I wouldn't be shocked.
That is minimum. I think
it could be. I wouldn't be shocked because like it costs money. You got fuel. You have to move all the troops, etc. You got to do security. It's going to be planes, soldiers marching, etc. And then the other issue, which people don't talk about enough, if you do indeed put tanks into this parade, it could damage the roads, which costs a lot of money also. And then also, what's that?
But you don't have to fix it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, right? And maybe that's Trump's plan. Don't fix the road, and then he'll rename the road like Trump Garden. He'll just put a bunch of trees up. Actually, he'll put new flagpoles because he was this is a true story. He was out walking around in front of the White House before.
Yeah.
He's like, we need to put new flagpoles in because like it's been a long time since we've had these like lawn here, and it just wouldn't it be great if we had like the greatest flagpoles in history. He really does say this stuff. I know, for real. I can't keep track of all the stuff that he says because it's so nonsense, but this represents sort of like who he is. And then all of his followers, it's the same with Elon. They go on TV and they have to like come up with this like crazy story about why, he's a genius. And they call it the way they refer to it, they call it like is the madman theory, meaning that like he's a madman and therefore it doesn't make any sense. It's like we're supposed to worship that he's unpredictable and that I guess we're strong because we have this madman, strong, unpredictable leader. And I'll just tell you the truth of it, guys. Markets don't like unpredictability. They don't want a madman. Businesses don't want that either. And other countries don't want to deal with that. It's like...
And madman is your president now.
Yeah, and they celebrate that he's the madman because they think that's like it keeps other countries off balance and like they can't predict what he's going to do and oh, it's such a good thing. That's the world we live in, and I know we have to tie in the Trump and the Tesla stuff and they must together because it's all kind of fits into understanding where we are today. And again, I think it's an over indulgence and over worship of money. So that's my thoughts and stuff. I love hearing your thoughts, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. So bye.
Bye.